Sorry, I just felt something on my shoulder. Sorry. Hello and welcome to Who Corner to Corner. My name is Geoff and his name is Paul.
Yeah,
How are you this evening? Did you feel
yeah,
something as well?
I'm a little bit creeped out, mate. To be honest, it's getting darker over night time, and the clouds are coming in. I'm walking through my house, and the walls are closing in, and there's Mister Fish Fingers with his hand on my shoulder. No,
Did he
no,
have
was that,
did,
that?
did he have custard?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, literally got
So,
eyeballs made of custard, big yellow
that's
globular things, freaking me out.
uh,
Quite.
that's
Imagine
that's
poking your finger into someone whose eyes are made of custard.
well, that's certainly something I've never
Sorry, is that too gross?
thought I would imagine. Well, yeah, we are coming into, we're approaching spooky season, aren't we? And Big Finish seem to be
We
getting in
are.
on the
Yes,
act.
they
And
are. Yeah. What have
they've,
we had? We've had vampires. We've
yeah,
had Bristolian armadillos, and now
yeah, that's
we've got
scary.
Mr. Fish Fingers.
Yeah, and then the next 13th Doctor
Mm.
audio, I think, is a slightly spooky themed one.
Is it?
And they've also, yeah,
I
I
thought it
think so,
looks like it
yes.
was a royal court of intrigue and duplicitousness and what have you,
Well,
and comedy
no, the
happenings.
trailer is creepier than I was expecting, so
Is it?
that's quite, yeah, that's
Yeah.
quite good. And
Okay,
then
fair enough.
they've also got a collection of Halloween
Mm.
audios coming out. But imagine if perhaps your favourite podcast might release a Halloween themed audio
Imagine
drama.
that.
Imagine that.
Imagine
Well,
that. Who knows? Who knows what could
imagine
happen in the next couple of weeks?
imagine no more is all I will
Because
say.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
know.
You're leaving it there. It's like a teaser, is it?
Yeah, I mean,
Imagine if your favourite podcast, Who Corner to Corner, was to release a Halloween-themed audio drama. Oh, that would be amazing, wouldn't it?
yeah,
Well, watch this space. You
yeah.
never know.
Uh,
There you go.
uh,
You can stick a check in the post.
yeah, right. Well,
Anyway, we're not talking about our own audios today, are we?
no, we're not.
We're talking about
We're here
somebody else's.
to talk about
Some
the
amateurs
new
somewhere.
Ninth Doctor adventure, which is the
Yeah.
second in this new series, The Last Days of the Powell Estate,
No,
which
wait.
is,
The Last Days of the Powell Estate.
oh,
You can have that one for free.
okay. And this one is written by Timothy X. Atack, which is a
Timothy X. Atack.
pretty spectacular surname. I wonder if he's distantly
It's
related to
amazing.
Emily Atack.
Or Emily X. Atack.
Or possibly there could be another one out there.
Who knows?
Um,
Charlotte X. Atack as well.
yes. So this audio takes place in London in 2036. The
It
Doctor and
does.
Rose,
At least partially.
yes, the Doctor and Rose team up with an urban explorer to investigate the case of Mr. Fingers, an invisible killer haunting an abandoned corner of the city. If you feel a hand on your shoulder, don't look round.
Don't look round.
But of course, there's more to it than just that.
Of course.
So if you haven't listened to this audio, I would stop listening to us now because we're just going to blow it all.
Yeah.
So it turns out that, is it a surprise? It's the Powell Estate. The
Well, it's
title
in the title.
Yeah,
The Last
title.
Days of the Powell Estate, isn't it?
sort of gives it away a bit, really. Yeah,
Sort of, yeah. It's does what it says on the tin,
yeah,
so to speak. Which is actually, think about it, can be really annoying for when I design our little thumbnail for this podcast, because that is a lot of words to stick on a tiny little image the size of a postage stamp and make it
well,
legible.
that's not my problem.
No, it's not your problem. It's our designer's problem, i.e. my problem, pal. Don't worry, I'll find a way. I'm a professional. I don't whinge about stuff. I'll just make it happen.
So yeah,
Wait for my
they
check to arrive.
eventually, well, fairly quickly actually, realise that it's the Powell
Yes.
Estate in 2036, and it's apocalyptic, isn't it? It's been wrecked.
Yeah.
And
It's a
there's
derelict shell of its former glory.
yes, yeah,
To be fair, though, I mean, this 2036, and all these Ninth Doctor audio sort of happening around the first series, which would have made it current with 2006, wouldn't it? Because it was set like a
yes,
year after we actually watched it, I think, is the thing. So that's a few years for some nasty things to happen.
yeah. As the urban explorer says there's been like, did he say 7 alien invasions in the last couple of years or something?
This is that world where they're quite familiar with alien invasions, isn't it? Because they're not ignoring the fact that these things actually happen like they used to do in the old days.
Yeah.
Axons? What do you mean axons? I don't know what you're talking about. Nestine? Autons? No idea, mate. You should lock you up in the funny farm. That kind of thing.
Exactly like that. So
yeah,
they're quite aware of it all. So this guy Ellis Coates,
Ellis
is an urban explorer, and there's quite a nice little thing. He's got a drone that follows him, and it's tuned to his biosignature, so it follows him continually. So he's makes it clear that he's not scared of the dark, and he's not scared of breaking into places and all this kind of stuff. And he's investigating the Powell Estate because of the urban legend of this the Mr. Fingers. There's these graffitied images of the creature that the homeless people have done when they were staying in the estate, and there's scratch marks all over the place, and it's sort of established that people have effectively disappeared, and then everyone left the estate in panic, basically, which is why it's desolate now.
Did you, right, when he first mentioned graffiti, right, because we know it's the Powell Estate from the title, obviously, as we just established, right? And it's just opened up. What did you think of when he was saying graffiti?
Well, I thought he was going to say, it's really weird, bad wolf.
I thought it was going to be linked to that. I thought it was going to be like the Dalek graffiti that appeared on the garage doors, in the first episode, Rose and stuff like that. Yeah. I thought that's what he was going to refer to, but no, it was like big long fingers. Yeah. So which I didn't quite pick up on the long fingers. I was just thinking it's Dalek graffiti, bad wolf. It's linking back into that thing.
I must admit, I thought, oh, that's what they're going to say, and then when they didn't, I was like, oh, okay, that's a nice surprise.
You were quite happy then, yeah.
Yeah.
You're not a fan of that, are you, the whole bad wolf
well, I'm not a fan
sort
of the bad wolf thing, particularly, in terms of the graffiti, the actual story with Billy, I think, and what happened there with Rose was good. But
it's on the reverse of that.
But bad wolf as graffiti around is just nonsense. But
subliminal messages, eking out into the real world.
Oh, I've thought of a cool word. Daddy mug.
I know, yeah, that's just because you don't. Oh, daddy, look at that.
It's daddy
mug.
Nice. Everywhere we go, rules. Daddy mug.
It's too deep for you, isn't it? I'm joking, obviously.
So they
Just winding him up.
It goes off on a It goes off on a different path here. And I can't remember at all what I was going to say now.
Sorry if I derailed your train of thought.
The Doctor and Rose materialise, and they meet Ellis, and they sort of catch up on everything that's been going on. And then the Doctor says there's some sort of, time anomaly type thing. There was some talk of creatures from the edge of the universe that are, outside of time and inside of time and everywhere, nowhere, and are undead and alive and all this. And that kind of made me think a little bit of, the 14th Doctor putting the salt out and things. And, it'd be great. I couldn't get hold of Timothy Exatac to try and get him on for a chat. Couldn't find any contact details. But I wonder whether.
Don't worry.
We need to do a bit more research, but I wonder whether this was sort of partly influenced by all of that.
Possibly, but then all of that stuff does come from other sources.
Well, it's true,
as well.
Yes, it does,
so, Russell T Davies didn't invent the whole monsters at the edge of the universe from the deep subconscious and the kind of thullic regions of the netherworld, but have salt barriers and stuff like that. That comes from like accumulated folklore and legend and literature and poems and essays and stories and all sorts of things.
But I quite like that by mentioning it with 9, it's sort of...
There is a resonance, a forward kind of shadowing, foreshadowing.
Ties it in with 14. And that whole concept, I think, is, like, what was it called? The one with... 14 at the end of the universe.
Wide Blue Yonder.
Wide Blue Yonder, yeah.
Or Wild Blue. Was it Wild Blue or Wide Blue?
Yeah. The whole thing of, like, the edge of the universe and stuff is such a massive, mind-blowing, terrifying concept. So
it's a nice way that it was illustrated in this story, I think, in the fact the Doctor says, like, the edge of the universe, there isn't a line as such. It's more of a kind of, it's like a boundary. It's where places meet, where dimensions intertwine, where ancient forces and all kinds of stuff get sort of mixed up in this. Yeah, I thought that was great. I think he used a lot less words than I just used there.
Yeah.
And it was instant boof in the head. I loved it.
It made
really
me think a bit of Flux with the two universes, and the division is in the middle of them.
Yeah, but they're quite distinct things. They had a boundary, didn't they? We saw that boundary. There was like a wall between them, and the thing was in the middle. I think this, from the impression I got from listening to this audio, it was almost like the universe kind of drifts and blends into some other kind of mode of being. I liked also the fact that the monster itself was something, because it comes from those regions and is so ancient, it doesn't track through time in a linear fashion.
Yeah.
Everything happens all at once, and there's a moment where there's some bodies piling up, and the Doctor says it's killing everybody it's ever killed. It's killing right now, past, present, and future at the same time. I love that.
Yeah, but it was a brilliant concept.
Good.
And I saw a few people online say that it was quite Moffat-y. This Mr.
is
Fingers.
Moffat. Sorry, Stephen. I thought it was. This is like Moffat without the jingles.
Yeah, it was taking that thing of, I felt something on my shoulder, or whatever, and expanding upon it. And
but again, Moffat didn't invent that, did he? You know what I mean?
No,
There's other people who've done it before in so many other things.
It's taking something that we all know, or I saw something out the corner of my eye, or that statue's looking at me and things, and making it scary or scarier. So I thought the whole
concept myself was scary.
Yeah, I thought
they did that. Robert Holmes did that back in the 70s, when a sofa that literally, it wasn't a sofa, it was a big plastic armchair that killed the person who sat on it. It was great fun. Yeah, so that's what I mean. Even in Doctor Who, those things have been done before. So Steven Moffat, as a young kid, would have seen that. So, that's great. I'm going to use that. That's the kind of thing that triggers with him.
But I think it's taking the everyday and making it, scary.
But that's, again, it's what Doctor Who does, mate. It's always done it.
But it was a brilliant concept, I thought, on it. And there's some really interesting dynamics between Nine and Rose here. He tells her not to ring her mum, because they work out that the Mr. Fingers, or the hyphen, as it's sort of revealed to be, it's a sort of bridge between different realms. It's all happening at the same time. So she wants to phone Jackie, and the Doctor says, you can't. So she disobeys him and does it anyway.
Of course she does. Yeah, she's always going to mention. It's my mum.
We get this quite nice sort of play of things happening in 06 and 36 together, or sort of simultaneously.
There's a moment where they're both going in the door of the same flat, aren't they?
Yeah.
Was it 30 years apart?
And I was thinking, as I was listening to it, imagine shooting this, you'd have the set dressed one way, then the next day you'd redo it, get it ready for the next bit.
Yeah.
And,
it's a lot easier in audio, isn't it?
Yeah, but it would have been really cool on screen and it worked great on audio. And then they're sort of in the same spot in two different time zones, talking to each other on the phone. And there's some funny bits, like the phone didn't have speakerphone because of 2005
that was good.
phone. Yeah, have had that. You
forget there's a character text limit. Character limit on the text. Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, there's a phone that even did a text back then is quite something.
But it's something,
that made me think, actually, because to me, this is all relatively recent, but, it's like 2006 is 20 years ago, right? Obviously, because we're 2025 now. So, even if someone was born back then, they'd be 20 years old right now. In fact, my daughter was born in 2004. She's 21. So that's just mind-blowing. And that was even like pre-Facebook. I don't think Facebook was even a thing to 2006, 7-ish?
Yeah, perhaps, yeah.
I think
I remember.
I think we're all on Friends United. Friends Reunited.
Friends Reunited. Yeah.
It's like the website. The whole internet was a very different landscape.
Very different.
And this comes back also when Rose asks Ellis. They have a little tete-a-tete, don't they? A little chit chat and something. And she's asking him, like, why does he do what he does? Which is kind of like, so he's like a sort of YouTube vlogger, isn't he, really? He's got this program that's massively popular and it looks at all these old derelicts and, as you said, urban myths and stuff like that. And she says, well, why do you do it? And he says, he's like, imagine the likes I get, or the, you know, it's some other word I think he used, but then he sort of, it's basically likes, shares, and, you know, quote posts and all that sort of thing. And she goes, what? You do it just for popularity or something like that? And he's like, yeah. And I thought, and that made me think, it's like, it's so different from that world that Rose grew up in is very different. He would just, I mean, 20 years on, it's just mind blowing to me how different things are when you put them together like that. You know, like I mean, okay, Ellis is from in the future, but actually everything he does, we can relate to a lot easier in some ways than we can relate to Rose's frames of reference. Yes. I thought that was just bizarre.
Yeah, it was very clever.
Really good.
Thinking like my first phone would only store 10 text messages on it. You know, that was the memory capacity.
What did I have? I think I had, what was it, 2005?
At one point I had the Neo phone.
Yeah.
You know, the Matrix one. But
I had Sony something or other, I think, because I was working for them back in the day. So
right.
Or was that even, no, was that before Ericsson? They bought Ericsson? So it's Sony Ericsson, wasn't it? I think it might have been about the same time, actually, thinking about it.
But yeah, that's quite interesting because back in 05, you know, the internet was absolutely not what it is now, and you know, you didn't have influencers and, you know, going viral particularly.
Not in that same way.
Not in the same way. No,
they were around, but they were, you know, different sorts of people. And they weren't ordinary people like you and me, Geoff.
No,
they were mostly celebrities. That was the biggest influence you would have. Would be someone who was ridiculously famous. That was, and also, you know, like Taylor Swift famous, basically.
It also is worth adding they actually had talent as well.
Exactly, Taylor Swift. There you go. I'm not a fan of Taylor Swift, but she's incredibly good at what she does. You know.
Just as an aside, is it really necessary to release almost 40 variations of your album, including one with phone notes on it, voice notes?
We're talking about Taylor Swift.
Yes.
What are you asking me for? I just told you.
I don't know.
Actually, no. My daughter is quite a fan of Taylor Swift, and what she's told me, and this is all I can repeat, is that, you know, in her early years, she was owned by the studio and the producers and everything else. But in recent times, she's bought her own label. She produces, so everything that she produced then, she reproduced on her own label, the way that she wanted it to.
Well, she had all her stuff. Then all the masters and everything got sold. Were bought without her knowledge, so she then redid all the albums, Taylor's version, and re-released those alongside her own music that she owned. Yeah. And now she's got all her stuff back again. So
why are you kicking off like that? You should be supportive of someone who's so successful.
I
Why are you dissing her? Like, why are you joining the people on that side of the fence, mate?
Because I'm not entirely convinced. I read, and it could just be an internet thing, that this
probably is. You probably read it in the Daily Mail, didn't you?
No, it wasn't. No.
The last thing you said to me, I'm getting angry about, right, was from the Daily Mail, and I said, "Why are you getting angry about this? It was written in a freaking Daily Mail, for crying out loud."
Was that the Dalek mug thing?
Yeah, was it that? Yeah. No, it was before that. It was something else.
No,
go on.
Was it?
Yeah,
some bloke. It was getting sacked, and the manager had a mug that said, I wake up and I want to exterminate people or something, and the bloke getting sacked thought this was aggressive or something, so he sued him.
You could send me that link, but I couldn't be asked to actually click on it and read it.
No, you should have. It was stupidly funny. Anyway, I heard that the Taylor thing was all a bit of a scam, but I don't think you need 35 variations
her name now.
Of your album.
You know when you say something and you wish you never bothered? That was it right there.
Most of the time, yeah. But
anyway, back to the review of the thing we're talking about.
Yes, Greg, if it's got nipples, you can milk it.
Behave. Come on, back on target.
That's a Fockers reference.
It's a what?
Meet the Fockers.
I've never seen that.
Have you never seen
film,
them?
Innit?
Yeah, they're really funny.
Is it? Yeah, if you say so, mate.
Can you milk?
I was trying to claim a platform of moral superiority on you now.
Can you milk a cat, Greg?
I thought you were flossing your ears or something. Like there was nothing in the middle. You had a, you know what I mean?
Oh,
Like
no,
whole cord.
I was
No?
milking the
You were milking some nipples.
yes, of a
Right.
cat.
This is a kid friendly podcast. You are aware of that, yeah?
Well, you're the one with the.
It is
dirty
now,
mouth.
anyway.
So yeah, it was quite interesting, to sort of think back to what life was like, 20 years ago, and how Rose wouldn't even have had a phone that could do speakerphone on and stuff like that. So I thought that this whole story was was really good, and far creepier than I was anticipating. Like you said, the bodies are piling up. Well, they're sort of piling up. They're all dusted, aren't they?
Yeah.
Who was it who said, "Oh, they need"?
Oh, that's that great line. It's Jackie. It's Jackie, and they find the body, don't they?
Yeah.
And she goes, and was it Brainy Betty says, call an ambulance. And Jackie's
No,
like,
it's the other way
don't
round,
need an
isn't it?
ambulance. Oh, yeah, need a Hoover. That was it.
Yeah, like
It was.
harsh.
Was it the other way around then? Brainy
Yeah,
Betty said,
Betty
we
said
don't
that,
need
I
an
think,
ambulance. We need a Hoover. Yeah, that was
And
it. It's just so rude. And it was
like
brilliant
this-
because the whole setup of that was so, like you say, it was so creepy. And that whole switching between the Doctor and Rose and Ellis and Brainy Betty and Jackie Tyler. And then you sort of go, and I was driving along in my car and I was getting quite tensed with listening to this, really. And then she come out with that line and I thought, oh, that is the best line in any Doctor Who ever, audio or TV, comic book.
It was
That
really good.
kills
Yeah,
it. That sold it for me, that line. It was
And
just
there
so
was-
brilliantly done.
there was great sound design when they were saying, "Well, can you hear that noise?" And I was thinking, I can't hear anything.
Oh,
Then it
yeah.
built up, and then
Yeah.
the
That was
voices all
brilliant.
sort of went
Mm.
back in the mix and stuff. And it was very nice.
It was like tinnitus, wasn't it? It was like that kind of ringing that you hear when you get out, or, if you've been
Yeah.
too close to a loud explosion or fireworks, or, you come out of a Taylor Swift concert or something, your ears are ringing. It's that,
Yeah,
and everything
yeah.
else is muffled. And the whole thing was like they had to sort of control their fears to sort of, get them, put some distance between them and the monster, because the monster is a thing that feeds on fear. So if they control their fears, then it can, it finds it more difficult to find them or something.
Yeah.
And that was expressed between the ratio of the noise, that tinnitus noise, and how muffled everybody else was. So when the fears were dropping, their voices were becoming clear, the ringing went down, and then Jackie comes in, doesn't she? Was it Jackie? Who then comes in with what she was afraid of? Or was it Rose?
It was Rose, and then the Doctor in an excellent bit of performance by.
That was later on. The Doctor's bit was later on when they're actually trying to attract the monster into the circle.
That's right.
And let it catch fire.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that in a minute. Let's deal with one bit at a time. It's me taking charge. You see that?
I can't remember
That was authoritative, wasn't it?
who it was at that point.
Anyway, it was one of them. I thought it was Jackie Tyler because she's scared that she wouldn't see Rose again or something, wasn't it? I only listened to this yesterday, honestly.
Yeah,
Crazy.
I had to listen to the last 2 minutes whilst I was doing the washing tonight.
Did you? That's very heroic of you. But yeah, it was great. But either way, whoever it was, anyway, kind of sets it all back, and then the noise comes back up. The voices get a little bit more muffled, don't they? So yeah, it was. So you enjoyed this one then?
No, I thought it was brilliant. Yeah, I do have one thing I wasn't overly keen on, which then actually later I was less bothered about. But I was going to say, I thought Eccleston was brilliant in the bit when he was, getting angry and or scared, I should say. I thought talking about the Time War, it was quite nice to sort of go back to the Doctor in that era, because I feel like as Doctor has gone on in incarnations, the Time War's kind of been written and undone and all the various other things, and it's sort of become, what rightly so, I think, less of a kind of defining thing for the character. But in that version of him there, where we have to assume
it's very real and immediate, isn't it?
Yeah, and raw for him. I thought that was brilliant, and I'd like to think Eccleston's having a great time doing this stuff, because he's fun, and then he's serious, and then he's really really going for it there, and he's a great performance across the whole thing.
He's brilliant.
So yeah,
but there's a bit you didn't quite like, you said.
Yeah, it was what initially I felt was yet another reliance on Jackie Tyler, and I was like, goodness me, this is a Ninth Doctor story, and we're starting with, well, we started with Ellis, and then it was Jackie again. And I was kind of thinking, can't we just can we get away, literally get away from the Powell Estate and go off and do some stuff? But I'm giving it, I was sort of, all right, I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. It's a new series of audios, so maybe they're going to do a couple of episodes in the Powell Estate, then it will go to the future, then the past, or whatever, like the show used to do. But it's not that I don't like Jackie. I think she's a
No,
slightly less tough version of like Sylvia Noble. But I think pairing her with Brainy Betty worked really nicely. And I'll talk about Betty in a minute. I actually thought, I always think Camille Corjubi is good anyway, but it's just a bit like, do we need Jackie again? And I felt a little bit like this is slightly in danger after the last one of becoming the Jackie series. But then she was, and she worked really well in the last one, and then but this one I was like, already another sort of heavy thing on her, but she was integrated into it brilliantly. She was given a lot to do.
Totally agree.
And by about halfway through, I was like, yeah, this is great. I'm, really loving this.
I was rooting for her.
And I thought Brainy Betty was brilliant as well. She was, fleshed out enough to mention sort of 3/4 of the way through. You got the impression that her daughter had gone missing, or something.
Well, you got the impression something had gone wrong in her life somewhere.
Yeah,
wasn't it? There was some kind of trauma somewhere and related to somebody.
After Jackie mentioned something about losing Rose or something, and then it was later explained.
I'm sorry, I mentioned that.
That's
something like that, wasn't it? Yeah. And you think, oh, okay, something's gone on.
Yeah,
and then it comes in right at the end.
Yeah,
and it's powerful. It's emotional stuff.
It was really good.
I love that when. She's not an incidental character, but she's like a sort of, if you imagine things on tiers, we've got the Doctor and Rose at the top, we've got Jackie, Tyler and Ellis maybe in a sort of second tier, or Jackie, Tyler in the second tier, and then you've got the new characters, Ellis and Brainy Betty, there's a sort of third tier almost, but to give them the kind of pathos that they had, I thought was brilliant, and it felt really genuine, and I think Jackie Tyler, for me in this, felt less of a caricature than I think in any of the TV kind of stories that I was seeing. No reflection on Camille Coduri at all, but I thought she actually genuinely felt, apart from maybe her opening thing, which is they're having a conversation, which is typical Jackie Tyler, typical sort of, mouthy. And she's gone on about somebody who's done something and done something else and done something else, or whatever. Is it Fiona or something?
Yeah.
And when Rose rings up, she says, "You're just slagging off Fiona again." And she goes, "No, I'm doing something else." That's the caricature bit. But then we get into the real nitty gritty of Jackie Tyler through her relationship with Brainy Betty, and I thought it was beautifully done. It from that perspective alone, there's many more. It felt like, again, like the last one, Snare, it could easily just slot right into that series.
Yeah.
Without any kind of cement to fill it. And I'll tell you what, I was thinking that if that had been a televised story in that series, for me at least, it would have been the best out of all of them.
Oh, yeah.
By an absolute country mile. Not that the others weren't great, but this for me, I know, I'll tell you now, Geoff, I'll tell you what, I thought of it right now, mate. I thought this is the best big finish I've ever heard.
Really?
I thought it was just astonishingly good. I really thoroughly enjoyed this a lot.
It was excellent, and
it was really good.
Yeah,
there was nothing. I again, maybe like you, right? I looked at this because you texted me, didn't you? And said you got the new Ninth Doctor audio, and I hadn't been sort of keeping an eye, and I didn't even know it was out. To be honest,
I hadn't realised it had come out this week.
I was driving off yesterday, so I thought, oh, that'd be good. I'll be in the car for a few hours. I'll have something to listen to. So I did that. I downloaded it. But I looked at the title first, obviously, because you do, right? And it said, like, The Last Days of the Powell Estate. And like you, I think, oh no, we're back on the Powell Estate. The least interesting place in the universe. In the whole of Doctor Who, this is the least, this is the last place I really want to be. The last days of it, it's just going to be some, post-apocalyptic nonsense, blah, 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 blah. But yeah, okay, let's have a listen anyway. And I think from the off, I was pretty well sold. As soon as I got to grips with who Ellis was, because he introduces it, doesn't he? He kind of takes us through the start of it. We see things through his eye. And initially I thought, I kind of got that he was a sort of YouTube vlogger and everything else. And then there's a little bit more, okay, so he's obviously in the future, and okay, something's quite wrong with the world then, and he's right in the thick of it. And he kind of brought me into it, but there was a point where I was kind of thinking, well, this has gone on quite a few minutes now. This is quite a long monologue at the start of this play, and it's about time that we got the Doctor and Rose. And then when the Doctor and Rose kind of pop out, they're just there. Almost like they've always been there. It's just the voices just in it. Hello. And Rose is like, I'll do this bit. I'm Rose. He's the Doctor. And they're having a bit of a laugh and a joke between them. And then very quickly, the whole thing switches round as soon as Rose learns where she is and realises that this isn't right. This shouldn't be how she's seen how the world ends. And this is not any part of that timeline at all. And it's brilliant. And then it just kind of kicks in from there, really. I thought the way the monster was introduced, like you said, the to and fro between the timelines, just brilliant. And then, from that right to the very end, I think the final thing that did it was that emotional kick that we got from Brainy Betty, and this was also one of those stories where I kind of understood what was happening at the climax of it, the way they kind of set it all out for the monster. And I think partly a lot of this was sort of down to the way it played to the strengths of audio. So the first, the first section, the way we're sort of narrated through the world through the eyes of Ellis, the podcast, was he sort of
like
indie caster or something, isn't it? It was like a podcast, YouTube vlog, whatever, right? So that was a really, really good way of playing to it. And the way it used the sounds, the way it kind of set things up, I thought it was just so good. Yeah. Really good. So Timothy X-Atac, fantastic.
Great job.
Absolutely brilliant.
I'm just looking on Big Finish, and Brainy Betty was played by Mandy Simmons, who was also Gina's mum in Vampire Weekend.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
No idea. So that was pretty good. This was. That's high praise indeed coming from you.
Mate, 10 out of 10 on all counts.
It was excellent. As I was listening to it, I was thinking, I immediately want to get back to listen to this again. And I think it's
I'm
probably...
going to have another few listens to it for sure. Yeah.
It's probably the best spooky Who the Big Finish have done, possibly surpassing Static.
Totally surpassed it for me. I like Static. I enjoyed it a lot. I thought Static played to a lot of kind of cliches in a way. Yeah. It did them really well. And Miranda Rayson was in that. I thought she's brilliant. Yeah, she's and Colin Baker, obviously, and they're all fantastic. But I thought that story in some areas kind of dragged a bit. The bits in the caravan and everything else, it was a little bit. But on the whole, really, really good. I just thought this. I mean, for me, I'm sure other people, somebody else hated it somewhere, but for me, I just thought it was brilliant. It just ticked the boxes of everything I like in the story.
Good. I knew it was going to be a slightly spooky one, but I didn't expect it to be.
Yeah, I didn't at all. Because, like I said, what I thought it was going to be, Powell Estate, boring, Jackie Tyler and everything else. Oh, it's kind of really, but and even from the first minute or so, from the that Ellis's monologue, I thought could go either way. But then, as soon as the story kicked in, a few minutes later, I thought, I'm sold, man. Oh. And then of course, we get that wonderful moment from Chris Eccleston that you were talking about. Mate, you know me, right? It takes a lot for me to get emotional on this stuff, but I really felt it. And that's just in the power of his voice through the audio. I absolutely just was so, and I'm driving down the A303. I might have even been on the M3 at this point, but I was just listening to this and I thought, oh man, this is why he's such a good actor. He's a great physical actor. You look at him on TV and he inhabits his roles utterly. But even this, just doing it through his voice and just playing, obviously, if we're watching this on TV and he references that moment, the source of all his pain that he's talking about, we don't know at that moment that it's the Time War, right? Because it hasn't really been, it's been alluded to, but not in any massive detail. So they can't upset that in a way. Yes. But of course, because we know of everything, we're Doctor Who fans, we've seen everything that happened afterwards, we know it's the Time War, and we know that he'll get better from it. But at that moment, he's caught in the absolute pain of having done what he did. And for him to sort of go through those motions and say that he would do it again in a heartbeat, but that he lives with the deaths of everybody on his conscience, all those millions of people, but he would do it again. And the pain of knowing that. I thought so many complex emotions going on, and it's all coming through his voice. And I really got it. You know, that I've never felt that emotional for the Doctor ever, but that got it, and that was just audio. You know, just Christopher Eccleston playing some brilliant lines, doing what he does best. Fantastic.
It was so good, and you know, then they tried to sort of say, "Oh, you're scared of my mum," you know, and sort of,
and that was just also brilliant, which kind of diffused the whole thing. It's just like, you know, that's the equivalent of dropping the Hoover line after all the creepy stuff of getting through the door. He doesn't need an ambulance; he needs a Hoover.
Yeah,
it's just brilliant. It's just, oh man, you know, and yet it doesn't upset things in a way.
No,
you know, that's why I kind of think it's sort of better than a lot of what Steven Moffat. I mean, I love Steven Moffat's Doctor Who's. They are some of the most complex and high concept stories that we've seen, and they have the best jokes. But sometimes, and actually quite a lot of times, I think Steven Moffat will destroy a great idea simply for a really naff punchline that he just can't resist.
Yeah.
And whilst I get it, it's like, and for me, that, you know, that sometimes takes me out of the story. But somehow in this one, I just felt it worked.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. It just seemed to be just within the vibe of the whole thing, because we do naturally as people use humor to sort of get over the things that we're scared of. You know what I mean? If I don't know, whatever you're frightened of, you walk into a dark room or something, it's who's turned out the lights again? Oh, fuse is gone. You know, you say it's a joke, but really you're cacking yourself.
Yeah.
You know? So
and you're right, these bits of humor, you know, worked really well on it to sort of you know, slightly soften the intense moments that we just had, and they didn't feel out of place at all. I thought it worked really well.
Yeah.
We had just a couple of comments on Twitter, from people. So Mini Miku said, "I really love it when Doctor Who uses a simple concept and creates a scary monster with it. I like it. It was a really good episode." And the British Alien says it was a hoot, especially Jackie's Jamaican friend. So I have seen a few other people talking about it, saying how much they liked it as well. So
good stuff.
Yeah. So I think, you know, should rightly be a good response to this one. So I'm going to be listening to this again as soon as I can. Cracking. So, would you like to cue our little bonus feature?
The time-space visualizer. Go on then, Geoff. So, yes, the time-space visualizer. Welcome for those who may not have heard this bit before. This is where we talk about other things that we get up to, non-Doctor Who related consumable media. For example, a TV show, a video game, a book, a comic, or other types of things. So, Jeffrey, what have you been reading, enjoying lately, playing, or whatever?
A week or so, I've started reading a White Widow book, which is Yelena Belova, called Secret Sisters, which I ordered on Amazon, and then found out it was coming from the States, which was weird. That will explain why.
Did it take a while?
It didn't actually. It was fairly quick. But that explains why I couldn't find it on Waterstones, because it presumably only had a US release. But Marvel have done a number of these novels. And interesting, actually, most of the range seems to be kind of the female heroes. Like there's a Captain Marvel one, I think it's a She-Hulk, Squirrel Girl has had one, Black Cat.
Wait, Squirrel Girl?
Yes.
Is that a real thing?
Yes.
I mean, obviously there isn't a real Squirrel Girl, or unless there is some Squirrel Girl who lives rent-free and running around your head or something, but...
No, it's a Marvel character.
She's a Marvel character.
Yeah,
right.
I don't actually know her that well. I've only seen her in a
I
few
don't know
things,
the Adventures of Squirrel Girl, but sounds a bit nutty to me.
Quite popular, I think, actually. So this one is these stories sort of. I've read a couple of them. They take the character and sort of put them, obviously, in an adventure that has no bearing on the comics, nothing to do with the films, and it's sort of they're fairly standalone. So like the Black Cat one was in relation to the comic series and the supporting characters and stuff are there, but it's not mentioned in the comic. It's nothing to do with it really. So it's a little bit like the Who new adventure books that come out. You know, they take place within a season, but there's no sort of on-screen reference or vice versa particularly. Anyway, this one starts with Yelena at the equivalent of a widow's training facility in the States. She's, of course, causing bother and showing them all how to do it, and then they get sent out on a mission to go and get rid of the package. Oh, I can't remember what they call it. Anyway, so they go there, and she discovers it's a girl, young girl that looks very similar to her, and instead of killing her, she basically takes her, and they go on the run. And then there's a little bit of a twist with it, because Yelena stops. The girl calls her the Source, and she doesn't know why. So that's as far as I've got. But so far it's good. There's a little bit like there was a Yelena comic series a year or two ago, and it was really good. She was trying to sort of live a normal life in it, but then kind of got drawn into things to kind of save this town, and it had a really unique kind of narrative thing. She was trying to discover her herself and the things that she liked and disliked in life. So the comic had things like, for example, hot sauce, I like this. Mayonnaise, I don't like this. And it was like little
Hot
bubbles
sauce.
coming up.
Okay, got you.
And then there'd be a fight and it would say, bottle to the head, I don't like this. Roundhouse kicks, I do like this. So it was really quite a sort of neat way of getting internal thoughts out and discovering this character's sort of self-discovery in a way. So they've slightly utilised that in this book on the kind of chapter sections on it. So it's good so far. Yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Fun.
Hey,
good stuff.
How about you?
Me, well, you'd be pleased I finally finished Mass Effect 3.
Oh, did you buy? How many years has that taken you?
Massive game. No, it only took me. It's taken me about a month a game for the 3 games.
Oh, okay.
So just actually about 4 months in total since I played it this time round. So, but they're big games, mate.
Did you buy out?
Anyway, but no, do you know what? I looked at that because it looked like it was on cheap, but actually that was just a DLC. You need the base game to go with it. So I didn't realise it was a DLC. I thought it was the actual game. So I thought, well, I could do that, but no. Anyway, but I did download. What's it called? Dragon Age Inquisition.
Oh yeah.
And I started playing that the other night, and then and when I loaded it, it said continue game. So I thought, oh, have I played this before then? It's possible, right? And actually, it's actual. It did actually happen. I had actually played. So I loaded up this game save that I'd done, and I thought, oh yeah, I remember this. And I thought I didn't really like it. I think I played it on Xbox Game Pass, done a few hours on it, and then just abandoned it and just left this game save. But it was on offer a few weeks back. I bought it, so I thought, yeah, my mate said this is really good. I'd forgotten I played it. But the thing is, I looked at the date on that game save, and it was December 2015. So I thought, oh my God, that's like nearly 10 years ago.
Wow.
And it's like, I'm feeling really old lately, mate. It's not good.
Wow. Miranda Race does one of the voices in that.
She does. I remember her saying when she said, yeah, she does. It's
just looking it up now. Yeah.
But I must admit, it's not my cup of tea. It seems to be a really popular series, and I know there's a friend of mine who just absolutely raves over it, but I'm not feeling it. I'm not getting the vibe at all. I mean, I played. The biggest fantasy RPG I've played on Xbox was Skyrim, like years ago when that first came out, and then there was like an upgraded version. I think there's even another 25th not 25th anniversary. Or maybe it is, I don't know. Maybe it's actually that old, whatever. But that was epic. I loved that. I spent hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours on that. Finished the whole thing, got all the achievements, got the DLC, got all those achievements, restarted it because one DLC you play as a vampire or a werewolf, but I wanted to play as both a vampire and a werewolf. So I finished the vampire storyline in my character, went back to a previous save, and then played it as a werewolf, and then continued afterwards as well. And I can't remember which one I continued with, but it was So I did all that, and I thought and I think this might have been actually when I first downloaded Dragon Age because I think I was feeling some kind of Skyrim post, what is it like? What's that word you get when you leave something suddenly and you can't get over it? You need more of it, but there's no more to have because I'd literally done everything and I needed something else to fill that hole. It's like, that's it. Yeah. It's like, so I got Dragon Age on the rebound and it wasn't the same at all. And whereas, see, my mate who raves over Dragon Age, he wouldn't play Skyrim. He couldn't get on with it at all. It's yeah. So I think maybe one of those. But I thought, well, BioWare, right? BioWare, same as Mass Effect, basically. Or at least the last two games in the Mass Effect series. I thought maybe follows the same kind of thing, which it sort of does, but doesn't. But I don't know. I might give it another go tonight. It might crack on or not. But we'll see. We'll see what
I wonder,
happens.
I wonder if they might put Avatar on sale when the film comes out. There's another DLC coming out, which is certainly based around the new film, which I'm eagerly looking forward to. I knew they were going to do something because they said a little while ago we're adding a third-person mode to it, which will come out in December. And I thought,
right. Oh wait, so it's not a third. Is it a first-person Avatar?
It's first,
game?
yeah.
Frontiers of Pandora, isn't it? That's what it's called.
And I thought he wouldn't go to all the effort of making it third person, just put it out like a week before the film comes out for just for the fun of it. And then they announced
just for lols.
And the end of the second DLC had a voice cameo from Quaritch, which was obviously specially recorded. And I was thinking, why would you get him in to just do one line and then not have him again? And then this new one is so it's what do they call it, from the ash or something. So you go back to a part of the game that you previously visited. Now it's been torched and
suddenly it's right.
So there's a sort of another version of the volcano warriors that have come in and set fire to everything. So you have to now go up against them and all that. There's some different weapons and things. So it should be.
I like it when they do things like that. Yeah. In was it in the other one I was playing at the start of the year, Cyberpunk 2077? That's a lot of fun. There's a place in the city where you can drive through. You can't drive right up to it. It's like a stadium. So when I first played it a couple of years ago, I could drive around a stadium. It's like a big old football stadium. But I thought, that's got to be fun if I can get into that. But you couldn't. There's just no way. You just couldn't get into it. And then last year they released, or it might have even been a year before, but whatever. Anyway, right? They released a whole new bit of DLC called Phantom Liberty, and that all happens in that football stadium.
Right.
So when you do the download, do the update patch and everything else, drive to that football stadium, and it's a different zone. It's like Mad Max. It was brilliant. Cool. I loved that. Yeah, it was good fun. That was a great game. I so enjoyed that game.
Yeah, and the funny thing with that is when it first came out and it was all hyped up and it turned out to be garbage and didn't work properly. They fixed it.
I know, I saw that. Yeah, it was. I mean, they when they taken a court over it or something.
Really? Yeah.
I don't know, I think that might have been a Daily Mail story, but I know, there was a lot of people who were very unhappy because they were taking time off work specifically to kind of spend a good old week or so playing this game. And it was buggy, it was laggy, it was just wrong, full of all kinds of nonsense. And it seems to be a thing that video games developers seem to do a lot now. They release a game early, almost to like beta test it. It's like we'll put it out en masse because we can't know what's happened until we got like 20 million people playing it or something.
And then there's always a patch on day one because the game didn't work properly in the first place.
Yeah. But it's a great game. Once they fixed all the issues on that, it was it's brilliant. I love that game. I've got all blurry now, so my camera's given up.
I was interested in that, because Keanu was in it and stuff, and I thought, this is
he is. Yeah, Johnny Silverhand.
It was just garbage, so I didn't bother.
No, mate, it's not. It's not anymore.
The
day one was garbage for sure because they either released it too early, either under pressure from their executives or whatever. But mate, it's an astonishing game. It is. I mean, it's so good. I mean, I love it. I'm not sure whether it'd be your cup of tea, to be honest, but.
Maybe I might try it at some point, but I should be busy with Avatar again in December. but then Resident Evil February. That'd be me sort
Oh,
of full
yeah.
on.
You like those games, don't you?
Yeah, I
Resident,
do,
Resident
yeah.
Evil games.
Yeah. I've still
Yeah.
got, what's it called? Revelations or something. I've got the second one that
Right.
I've played a little bit of. It's like a port to the PlayStation or something. Like the graphics
Was
are
it?
not amazing on it, but it's quite good so far. So I
Yeah,
need to get back onto that. Yeah. Right.
There you go.
Well, thanks for listening.
That was
everyone.
fun.
That was good. And we will be back soon. We're going to have Jonathan Wilkins from Titan Comics joining us soon. And we will hopefully also have Al Dewar back with us
Yeah.
as well. And then some other stuff
Yeah.
as well that we're working on. So,
Some other
we will
stuff.
see you soon.
Bye for now.
Bye. TTFN.
TTF.